Hello students, in today's class we will learn modals or modal verbs, and we will go by the rules, the definition, the rule, the examples, the common mistakes and things we should do, we should not do. I will discuss everything in this video, so please follow. Now, what are modal verbs? Modals, also called modal verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries, are distinct verbs which act irregularly in English. They are dissimilar from normal verbs like walk, play, visit. They give extra information about the function of the main verb that follows it. They have a great diversity of communicative functions. Now, they are which act irregularly in English. What kind of irregulation in their acting we will eventually know. Now, they are not exactly like the normal verbs like work, like play, like visit, the action words we in general have in English. Modal verbs are not like them. Now, we must understand modal verb is a helping verb. Modal verb comes into a sentence to enhance the main verb, or it gives us extra information about the main verb, about its intensity or its quality, the way the work or the verb has been done. Modal auxiliary verb generally gives us information about that way, and they have a great diversity of communicative function. In various ways modal verb is used in English, we will eventually know. So, modal verbs are they act irregularly in English. They are dissimilar or different from normal action words like work, play, visit, etc. They give us extra information about the function of the main verb, and they have a great diversity of communicative functions. Now, we must remember or understand there are some features, there are some characteristics we must remember of modals. Number one, they never change their form. You do not need to add s or ed or ing. So, modal verbs do not have v2, v3 or ing form like common action words we use, or so called main verbs like talk or walk or work or play. And also we do not need to add s or es with the modal verb when it is sitting after third person singular number. So, we can use modal verb as it is, and it has only one form, number one. Number two, they are always followed by an infinitive, without to or with to, and sometimes when there is no infinitive they are called bare infinitive. So, unlike some modal verbs, for example, if I give you an example, you should see to the doctor. Now, in this case, if you notice, we have to add to complete the sentence. You should see to the doctor. On the other hand, if I give you an example like, we must stop when the traffic lights turn red. Now, in this example, we do not use, or we are not using to followed by the modal verb. So, the example must is a bare infinitive. Must stop, in this case it is bare infinitive, and she should see to the doctor, this is common infinitive, example of common infinitive. So, modal verbs are generally followed by an infinitive, and sometimes it may be to, or sometimes it may be something else. Number three, they are used to indicate modality, allow speakers to express certainty, possibility, willingness, obligation, necessity, ability. So, as I told you in the definition, that it generally tells us about the quality or type of or intention of the verb, or how the action would be done. So the willingness or the obligation or the necessity or the ability or the possibility or the certainty, what kind of quality is there in the action word. Modal verb generally elevates or refers to that quality in front of us. This quality is called modality. That's why this is modal verb. So modal verbs are used to indicate modality. So we can use these modal verbs to express certainty or possibility or willingness or obligation or necessity or ability of the action word. Okay. Now list of modal verbs. How many modal verbs are there? We have example here in the blue color italics. You can see can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. So here are 9 examples or 9 modal verbs we have listed here. Also the verbs or expressions dare, ought to, had better and need not behave like modal auxiliaries to a large extent and may be added to the above list. So dare, ought to, had better, need not, these phrases sometimes act as modal verbs, sometimes doesn't. So the obvious 9 examples are can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. So these are the modal verbs we have. So already while describing the feature, we have already listed the usage or why, I mean the modality of the verbs, why they are used. Now I again made a list here. As you can see, use of modal verbs. Modal verbs are used to express functions such as permission, ability, obligation, prohibition, lack of necessity, advice, possibility and probability. These are the modalities that modal verbs generally informs us about the action or function of the verb in general. Now eventually we will get through all of them. Now in this table, as you can see, we have created examples and the type of expression we can create using a modal verb. The first one is must. Now first, must can be used expressing or to express strong obligation. Example, you must stop when the traffic lights turn red. So that's a strong obligation. We are expressing this obligation for the main verb is for the main verb stop in this example. You stop when the traffic lights turn red. If I say this line, this is a general statement. You stop to stop your vehicle or you stop yourself when the signal turns red. But whenever I am adding the auxiliary or modal verb or auxiliary modal auxiliary must, then I am putting an emphasis on the course of the action with the hint or tone of obligation that you must stop. This is a strong obligation that your movement shouldn't be commenced or your movement should be stopped whenever the traffic lights turn red. Then there is an example where expression is logical conclusion or certainty. He must be very tired. Now this is a kind of certainty or logical conclusion. Now when I say he must be very tired, only this line expresses the certainty. There is a certainty that he is tired. Now whenever I am adding the following line, he has been working all day long. The entire day he has been working. This is a logical conclusion. We have a reason for his tiredness. So when I say he must be very tired, this is a certainty. There is a certainty of expression in this line. But when I say he must be very tired, full stop, he has been working all day very long. all day long. So this second line is adding a purpose or reason, and that's where the logical conclusion comes into play. So logical conclusion or certainty or strong obligation, these things can be expressed by must. Whenever we are using must not, we are expressing prohibition. We must not smoke in the hospital. This is a prohibition. This is a thing that should not be done. This is a prohibition. This is a restriction. And must not is used for expressing restriction or prohibition. Then the modal verb can. Now can be used expressing different things. First one is ability. I can swim. So this is my ability, that swimming is my ability. This is one of my plus points or virtues or things I have learned. Okay. So can expresses ability. I can swim, example. Can expresses permission as well. Can I use your phone please? Now seeking permission. The same modal verb, can. Here I am seeking permission. And then possibility. Smoking can cause cancer. There is a possibility. Smoking can. Also maybe cannot as well. There is an uncertainty or certainty, but there is a possibility that smoking can cause cancer. So the can, the word modal can be used to express three different expressions. One is ability, I can swim. Permission, can I use your phone please? A possibility, smoking can cause cancer. The next word is could. First one is ability in the past. When I was younger, I could run fast. Now this is an ability of mine I am talking about, but the ability was in the past. I cannot do the same right now. When I was younger, I could run fast. So in my young ages, I could run faster, but I cannot do now. So ability in the past. Second, polite permission. Excuse me, could I just say something? So in this line, though it is used, the word could is used, it is in the present tense and seeking for a polite permission. Or can, the word can also be used for permission, but could is much more polite in tone. Can I use your phone please? I am seeking for permission. Excuse me, could I just say something? Or excuse me, could I just use your phone? This is much more polite in tone. So the permission is also there, but it's much more polite. And there possibility, it could rain tomorrow. Again the possibility, it could rain tomorrow. Okay. So the could, can, must not, must. Here are the examples. You have the table. Please take a note. We have the expressions, we have the examples. So we had 4 modal verbs we discussed in our previous slide. Now in this slide I will discuss the rest 5. Now first example is may. Now may, this word, this model can be used to express different expressions. First one is permission. May I use your phone please? Can is also used for permission. May is also used for permission, but can is much more informal, like used in friendly conversations. May on the other hand is much more formal, used in, in case of your seniors or some office personals or in your school. Whenever you are seeking for permission, you must use may. But can, that can be used while talking with your friends. So may is an word which can be used to express the emotion or expression of permission. Example, may I use your phone please? And possibility or probability, it may rain tomorrow. Same like can be used for much more informal, and may should be used in formal conversations. So it may rain tomorrow, it could rain tomorrow. Could can be used in informal expressions or conversations. May on the other hand should be used in formal conversations. Now might, polite permission. Might I suggest an idea? Again like could, might, polite permission, but formal, informal. Could should be used in informal conversations. Might should be used in formal conversations. Possibility, probability, I might go to holiday to Australia next year. So like could, but could should be used in informal, might should be used in formal expressions or conversations. Next is need not, lack of necessity, absence of obligation. Things we must not do, we should not do, or we don't need to do. Lack of necessity. I need not buy tomatoes, there are plenty of tomatoes in the fridge. Or I need not buy eggs, there are plenty of eggs in the fridge. So this is a lack of obligation, absence of obligation, and lack of necessity. You don't need to. This is where need not is used. Then should or ought to. 50% obligation. I should or ought to see a doctor. I have a terrible headache. I might not. I may or may not. I should see a doctor. There is a chance of 50% of going to the doctor. I must see a doctor. This is 100% obligation. But I should see a doctor. This is 50% obligation. I can or I cannot. The choice is there. Ought to. Advise. You should revise your lessons, or you ought to revise your lessons. This is an advice for your own good. Logical conclusion, like we have already done in must. He should be very tired. He has been working all day long, or he ought to be very tired working all day long, just like must. And the last one is had better. It is also an advice. You had better revise your lessons, just like should. But should is much more, there is a chance, but on the other hand, had better is with much more caution, alert. You had better revise your lessons. It would be much more, or it would be good for you. On the other hand, whenever I am using should, you should revise your lesson. There is a possibility or choice on your hand. So, and when I say you must revise your lesson, that's a complete kind of order. That's not advice. Should is kind of advice, but must, on the other hand, expresses a tone of order, not advice. Okay, so may, might, need not, should or ought to, and had better. We discussed the 5 examples here, 5 modal verbs with expression and examples. Finally, here is a reminder, as I already mentioned before in the feature, that modal verbs are followed by an infinitive without to. They are called bare infinitive. So if you look at the examples had below, the middle example, she should see to the doctor. So this is not bare infinitive. The see is followed by to. But the other examples, the first one, we must stop when the traffic lights turn red, or there are a lot of eggs in the fridge, you need not buy any. So the underlined words in the first example, stop in the third example, buy, these main verbs or infinitives are not followed by to. So these are the examples of bare infinitives. But on the other hand, the one in the middle, she should see to the doctor. Now this infinitive or verb see is followed by to. So it is not an example of bare infinitive. Bare infinitive is when a modal verb followed by an infinitive or main verb is not followed by to. This is that is the example of bare infinitive. So in this case, example 1 and example 3 are bare infinitives, but in example 2 we do not have any bare infinitive. So this is modal or modal verbs or modal auxiliary for you. Thank you.